Hi, welcome to your 7-day property preservation kit, day 6. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, today I really wanted to just kind of focus in on a couple things and to kind of go back and just re-hone on some information that we already went over and to kind of digest and summarize some things we may have missed. Okay? So I want to cover some questions, a couple questions that I received on this topic, property preservation, and I want to actually show you how to bid on a job. I'm going to give you an example and that kind of try to make it as realistic as possible. And I really want to just focus in today on trash out jobs. Like, how do you bid on jobs that are above the allowable? Okay, and the allowable is 12 cubic yards or less. And then I'm also going to, hopefully along the way, my goal is to also give you some tips and tricks of the trade to help you actually digest and understand the mind frame and the mentality that I have when approaching this business. So the question that was asked this week for me was, so how do I compete in my business when there are no jobs in my local area? And this individual really, didn't see it being cost effective to his business, and it makes sense to have to go to the next county when he really wanted to get the jobs in his area first and then add on to make it, cost effective. So, that conversation we had, we kind of went through a couple ideas, but to give you guys an answer, the best thing I can say is just be creative. Start thinking, thinking broader than the problem that you have at hand. Okay, the problem is that you're applying to all these companies and they're all saying the same thing. They're either saying, we don't need you right now, or we're just not hiring any other companies in your area because it's already saturated. Okay, and that may happen if you live in large cities. That hasn't been the case where I'm at, but I'm sure a lot of you are facing that. So if I was in that position, what I would do is I would definitely keep applying. I would always keep applying to those companies. I wouldn't stop. So even if they say no, I'll probably give them a week or two and I'll apply again. The reason being that I'm going to always reiterate is because there's going to always be someone that quits or closes their business. There's going to always be someone that doesn't complete their work order. There's going to always be someone that can't cover that area, and that larger company, that larger preservation company, may find themselves in a really, really bad jam, and they don't have anyone to complete that void. And lo and behold, your consistency will pay off. You've called them every couple of weeks. You're going to be on their memory. And when you call and say, hey, I'm so interested in becoming a vendor, is there any opportunities open? They'll say, you know what? You've been very consistent, and you know what? I do need your help. And that may be the very thing you need to get your foot in the door and get off running. You don't know how many times I've done that and actually landed a job because I was consistent, especially after all the no's that I got. A no is not a no. All it means is not right now. So just know that things change. Situations change, and businesses are always coming against different obstacles and problems, and you want to make sure you are present when their problem arises so you can be a solution to help them. Okay? But that's one idea. Just always keep applying, and in the interim, maybe do some other things, like continue to network with real estate agents. Same thing with the agents. Some agents do their own foreclosure cleaning, or they have their own team that helps them get these jobs back on the market. And sometimes their team, either falls through, or maybe they handle too many work orders and they can't. The load is just too much, and they're getting behind. Same thing with contractors of actual building homes, is actual contractors that need a job site cleaned. You can even offer a service to them. You know, you don't have to just narrow it down to the property preservation companies. You can actually haul debris for anybody, and definitely make sure you are putting ads on Craigslist, because you don't know how many times I found myself in a bind. And going to Craigslist, I was able to find someone. Either I posted an ad on Craigslist, or I seen someone who said they would, haul debris for very cheap. So make sure you're present, make sure you're visible, make sure you're positioning yourself to be of a help, or your services can be rendered if you keep yourself visible. Okay, so real estate agents, continue to network with them. Just say, hey, I know you said you don't need any help, but don't forget, if you need any assistance, call me to make sure that I'm not busy. Because don't promise them you'll be there, because you just may be busy when they need you, which always happens to be the case. But at any rate, you still want to make sure in the interim, if you do have opportunity to add them on and do something for them, that they don't forget you as a viable option. Okay? So I mentioned contractors, they may need help cleaning construction sites up. So begin to offer your services broader in the real estate field. And again, continue to network with other property preservation companies and actually build a network with them. I mentioned before, newrep.com. That was a site that I used, and it's a really good resource for you to be able to find out who else in your area is in the same industry as you. Now, it won't be every single company. Everyone doesn't even know about it, but it's a good list of companies to work with, and for you to reach out to them. So not only reach out to them, but make sure you put your information up there just in case someone happens to need help, and they can call you. They can go there also. So it's a free resource that I found, and I think if you haven't found it, make sure you go over there, put your information up there, and even call some of these. Their numbers are posted up there. Call them, network, people in your area. Tell them, hey, you're willing to handle their overflow work, or maybe you can do some other things. We're going to go over that here shortly. Another thing that we mentioned is you may want to apply to areas outside of your zip code, your home zip code. So say you have one main location, maybe you want to go out like 10 more miles, circumference-wise. I don't know. You have to think about that and consider if that's even viable for you, if it's profitable. Just to at least, get your foot in the door of a business where you're at least working with them, and then when things open, you can always say, hey, I really wanted this area, but you'd have it available. So now that the opening has come, I want to be the first one. And then you've proven yourself to them. And you've shown them that you do good work, and you do it very fast, and you're timely. So definitely consider that as a way to get your foot in the door. Now, don't go overboard. Do not go like 4 hours out of your zip code, especially if you don't live near a major city. So you need to make sure you consider all that. If it's not profitable, do not do it. Because in the long run, you're going to go find yourself being negative, and you're not in business to do charity work. So make sure you understand that. Make sure that the numbers make sense. Don't base it off of emotion. You have to remove emotion when you become in anything, really. Remove emotion, and the way you do that is you look at the data, you look at the numbers, you write down the facts, and you analyze it. And when you're able to see the bigger picture, see the solutions or the other options you may have, and based off of that, let that drive your decision, and not that's being desperate or being anxious or being excited or being happy. Don't let your emotions drive your decisions. It always backfires. I promise you. You have to always base it off of results or data. Okay? Next, I want to go over, like I said, make sure